Yes, Sir Hairless here. We have our Halloween poll winner. 'Tis the spooky season. It's Pentatonix's cover of Aha by Imogen Heap originally. The original song is crazy. I've put the lyrics on the screen here for you. I've received many requests for Aha by Pentatonix, but I had no idea what the original song was like, and when I went to listen to it, I certainly was not expecting it to be like that. I also was a bit uncertain as to why this song was submitted so many times for a Halloween submission. I'd never looked up the lyrics of the song prior to today because I'd not done a video of it before. I just didn't think it was a spooky song, but I guess with the name Aha, maybe it could be, especially because it's got an exclamation mark in it. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Pentatonix's video is from October of 2012, 13 years ago. My heart, ow, where has the time gone? Suffice to say, this is very much the early days of Pentatonix.
I was scared.
I was
scared.
All right, guys. Do any of you know a scary story?
There's one that comes to mind.
Okay. The music starting. This reminds me of their Bohemian Rhapsody, the scene with the torches. I was wondering how they would do the music. To explain what I mean, let me show you a short clip from the original song. That's how it starts. Definitely not the most easy song to do a cappella. But that's where Pentatonix come into their own through the ingenuity of the arrangements and overcoming the challenge of how we're going to turn something that's clearly not supposed to be sung by human voices into something that can be sung by human voices. So let's start again with the music, but also, yes, I know I did not mention Star Vista Singapore, Aha, in my introduction. Don't worry, we will do that performance afterwards as well. And as usual, with the additional Pentatonix performances or content that I do, that will be over on my Patreon along with everything else. So you can find it linked below in the description. All right, back to this one.
Eat, sleep, and breathe it, you're full of the stuff. Go back and tie it up tight. Wheat, meat, dairy-free teeth, total happy, clappy, high on life. You should try it. You should know. You should know. Go on while no one's looking. Caught you red-handed in the biscuit tin. Cost you to keep me quiet.
I was wondering so much what the bass part will be here. Let me show you the original at this moment. When I heard that for the first time, I was thinking this is Avi's territory for sure. I can imagine what he'll do with that. So I'm very curious to see what he'll do with that. I guess we'll find out in just a moment when we continue with the song. Firstly, though, I want to go over a few things. So we'll do our first pause here. It's an intense arrangement. I think we can all agree there's a lot going on. First things first, the key difference. The original is in F minor. Pentatonix are 2 notes down in E flat minor, so a little bit lower. Usually when a cover version is a bit lower, I'd say it's to help out the person singing the melody. It might be more suited to their range, especially when you have a man, Mitch, singing a song that was originally by a woman, Imogen Heap. But it's Mitch. He's a bit of an alien. Range is ridiculous. I mean, it will still probably be a little bit more comfortable, but that's not why I think they did it. I think they've chosen a lower key for Avi. As I said, Pentatonix are doing it in E flat. So that root note E flat for Avi, he'll be singing this note a lot. And down there in the bass, that's 1 note lower than, which is your typical lowest note for a choral second bass to sing, which is just that bit lower than the original key. But it really does make a difference, especially when it comes to the human voice. That's really the kind of lower depths. As for the arrangement, back to how the original opens. it's just so rhythmically complex. You know, that kind of thing. We are in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, very quick tempo, but there are many syncopations and kind of groupings of 3 notes instead of 2s and 2s. It's what gives it a really jumpy and inconsistent feel. Pentatonix have just dove straight in, head first.
One that comes to mind.
And it's really Avi's part. Bum, 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 bum. And it's those offbeats there, chum, chum, that keep things together. Of course, I always say how Avi and Kevin work so well together. Usually their parts have a great synergy. They'll be stressing the same beats, for example. But here, Kevin, he's like his own little train chugging along, doing his own thing, but he is obviously hugely important. And then we have the other parts coming in on those offbeats. But Scott, if we listen out for Scott, all the way through, his part is super high energy. Not necessarily as complicated in terms of the variety in rhythms he has, but he is just always on the offbeat. Try singing that and it, you know, it wears you out. It's tiring. And then we move into this lovely unison ending of the phrase, and this is where singing it lower really comes into its own. Listen how low Avi goes here.
Eat, sleep, and breathe that you're full of the stuff. Go back and tie it up.
And now Avi has kind of taken over Scott's part. Why? Well, now the other parts, i.e. Scott and Kirsty, are singing oohs, much more choral, smooth. We have Mitch's melody here now.
Meat, dairy-free teeth, total happy, clappy, high on life. You should try it. You should know.
Our first homophonic moment where they're all singing the same words at the same time. High on life, you should try it.
Total happy, clappy, high on life. You should try it. You should know.
And then Avi with this rundown, moving into a major resolution. Yeah, really cool arrangement. I'm very curious to see how the rest goes because there are some other parts of the original that I'm intrigued by. So let's carry on. Very cool. Quite spooky, yeah.
Golden boy boots, pocket pedestal, making sharp, smart moves. Plastic, tin can, paper separated. Busy bee, wave safe the planet flag. But sneaky in suburbia. Candy camera. Hook, line, and sinker for a 4-wheel drive. Cost you to keep me quiet. Keep me quiet.
That section we just heard, I was surprised. Yeah, I feel bad using the word surprised when it comes to Pentatonix because it's like a guarantee, right? There are a few guarantees in life. Taxes, death, and being surprised by Pentatonix. But this song is so rhythmically oriented. That really is how it is. And I don't know much Imogen heap. I often show my Imogen heap clip when it comes to Pentatonix when they do a certain type of harmony, the way a chord is structured. I'll put that clip in here now for you. You might recognize it if you've seen my Pentatonix videos before. And that's from a song Hide and Seek, and it is so intricate in terms of the harmony. So hearing this song now from Imogen heap, I have no idea what her kind of music is. It could literally be anything based on these two songs. If anything, though, I have high conviction in saying that she's quite experimental, creative when it comes to her music. So the section that we just heard, the harmonies are just so not what I was expecting. We start off here and the harmonies are quite simple. Chromaticism is a huge part and that's what makes it quite spooky, especially with Avi at the bottom. You know, down there, that chromatic that we get in the other parts too. But then the chord kind of fills out with the other parts. So we're hearing like a chords moving up in parallel motion, quite standard harmonies. And this is also a case, at least I think there are far fewer cases of earlier Pentatonix compared to contemporary Pentatonix, where they are really layering in many more voices than just 5 parts. Golden boy. So here, why I say the harmony is strange, we have our chord. Bum, bum, bum. So to show you, on a keyboard, we have our chord. And then Kirsty's note. To move them all together, here's note number 1 of the chord, and she's on note number 2. That's super tonic. Really, really nice dissonance. Pentatonix almost do it in every song. They love using that.
Making sharp, smart moves. Plastic, tin can,
And now we have this layering in, again, of a, well, a slightly different chord, should we say.
plastic, tin can, paper separated. Busy bee, wave, wave, save the planet flag.
Very unconventional harmonic progression, basically. But it's all culminating in Avi's descent. Just
Flag, but sneaky in suburbia.
temporary major resolution, then back into the more spooky minor music, sneaking in suburbia. The video is cool as well, isn't it? Unfortunate freeze frame for Scott. Sorry, Scott, I've done you dirty there. But everyone else, yeah, look at their faces. On to Mitch with the melody. I don't need to say much. He's perfect for the song. When I heard the original song, I was thinking it would be a crime if Mitch didn't have the melody. Singing it slightly lower does just make it that much better, or that much more suited for his exact range. It's perfect for him to switch between the chest voice and the head voice in moments. Obviously, we have moments like this.
Sneaky in suburbia.
For his falsetto, that lovely, rich, slow vibrato coming through. Really, really nice. Let's see what happens for the remainder of it. I have a feeling their movie night with popcorn might not be so peaceful. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now.
Nice is sweet.
If you're not wearing headphones, just put some good headphones on, because the overtones there from Avi literally are making my ear like shake. Probably my brain as well.
Nice is sweet to stop most and everything. It's so charming, very charming. Well read can play the full notes, still a decent, but the deepest Swiss bank trust.
Scott's part, wow.
You, no one saw it coming. Cost you to keep me quiet.
Wow, that's a mental arrangement. I'm going to whip out my favorite word, mental. I got a comment on a video that I released, some of the most crazy musicians I've ever seen, Polyphia. And a comment on that said, I can't use the word mental, I'm not allowed, I have to use the word cerebral instead. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I disagree. And I will use the word mental right now, because this aha was mental. Mental arrangement. When I was saying Scott's part, let me find that bit.
Swiss bank trust.
So Scott's on a mad one there. That tongue action is so rapid.
This Swiss bank trust in you.
Kirsty's part is just very like filling in all of the syncopations. The one moment I did want to go back to, I think it's here actually.
No one saw it coming.
It's just perfect for Mitch. I don't need to talk about it. I'm sure there are loads of other reactions to this song that talk about Mitch's voice here. I don't need to say anything. So good. He's just having a great time, especially when there are no lyrics and he can just do so freely. Why I wanted to talk about it though, in the original song, when this moment happens, we go from a very regimented rhythmic basis of anything. Just as we've seen with Pentatonix, it's always jump, 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 all the way through.
The deepest Swiss bank trust.
Yeah, we can hear that, and then I'll go forward 5 seconds or so, maybe a bit more, just because I can only play short clips because of copyright. Just from that, we can immediately hear that the rhythmic stability, the rhythmic certainty is gone. It does not exist anymore. Things are being merged together. We're not really sure what the time signature is. It's obviously the effect that they're going for. Everything's becoming kind of like gooey or very ghostly, ghastly. So when I was listening to this, I was thinking for an a cappella group, something like that is a nightmare when there's essentially no rhythmic foundation, jump, 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 for every other part to adhere to. So when Pentatonix do this, they make the decision to keep Kevin acting as that kind of rhythmic totem pole that everyone else is wrapped around. When all of their parts individually are moving, Avi, Mitch, Kirsty, Scott, they seem very, very free and maybe a bit random, but they are moving in time with Kevin. He's keeping things together, even at the moment of the song where it's maybe supposed to seem very not together. They could have done this without Kevin at all here, no percussion, and the effect maybe would have been greater, but I actually like the decision to do it. It keeps it a cappella in style. And based on some of Pentatonix's more recent works I've seen, I think that they are a bit more free now. They kind of moved away from the more typical a cappella style in some or many ways. That's cool how they all do that. You want to join in. Well, that was just kind of a surprise all round. The original song surprised me. Pentatonix's arrangement surprised me. But as I said earlier, I don't think we can be surprised by them because it's expected. And now it's time to go and watch the Star Vista Singapore version. I've received many comments for that one, so I am certainly intrigued. If you want to watch that with me, head on over to the link in the pinned comment, and then there's also loads of other Pentatonix additional content, performances and stuff available over there. And if not, well, thank you as always for watching. If you made it this far and you want to help with the algorithm, it helps me a lot. Please give the video a like and comment something, anything. If you don't want to do words, let's do a ghost and or pumpkin emoji like you see on the screen now. It will really, really help. Thank you once again. Hope you have a great Halloween, and I'll see you in the next one.